to Weekly Reddit. In today's episode of r/Tales from Retail. But I need formula for my baby. Are you sure? No. You can't use brand name coupons to buy store brand goods. Don't test your kindness. That time I insulted a thief, my worst retail experience. But I need formula for my baby. Are you sure? I've worked in a supermarket for 10 years. You get your share of Karens and the only thing you can do is smile politely. But what I even hated more after an 8-hour shift and having to close up the supermarket were the customers who came in 5-10 minutes before closing and just do their shopping like no one wants to go home. There was a time that I was scheduled every Friday closing shift and pretty much every Saturday closing shift. The store closed at 8. We weren't open on Sundays then. Also on Saturday we had to take out all the cash drawers and manually count all the money. We could start doing this when all the customers had left and the front and back doors were locked. So customers coming in 5 to 10 minutes before closing time and taking their sweet time to shop were hated. Hated with a passion. My shop had a procedure. We would barricade our entrance and turn our front door on, only opening when people wanted to leave the store at about 5 minutes before closing. We would remind customers at 1:45, 10 to and 5 to closing time that the store was going to close and please go and pay for their groceries. Normally we had very few incidents. This one, however, is burned in my memory. C equals colleague, FM equals formula man. It was a Saturday. As head of the cashiers for that night, I had the honor to make or break the day of our beloved customers. I had to deal with my fair share of Karens, male and female, and I just wanted to go home. So I follow the procedure, ask one of my fellow money handlers to set the front door and stay there to handle any customer. At 2 minutes before closing time, a man comes running to the door. My colleague asks what he needs and reminds him that the store is going to close and he won't have much time. He says he just needs formula. Since I was busy with a customer, she let him in. Guy gets a basket and goes into the shop. Since he said he needed formula, we thought he would be in and out like Road Runner. Nope. No, because FM didn't need formula. At 8.05 FM is seen at the cheese section of our store. 8.15 at our wine section. What the heck does he need that for? What kind of baby does he have? Several of my colleagues have gone to this man to get him to the counter. He scoffs, huffs and says that he's a paying customer. My fellow money handler was the last one to go to him, and that's when he went too far. He yelled at her, cussing at her and making a high school student cry. Now I'm pissed. So I do what I always do in these situations. I take off my store shirt, put out a neat jacket I keep in case of emergencies and put it on. You see, when you have the store outfit on, you are often seen as a lesser being. But behold, I change my outfit and suddenly I look like management and my word is all powerful. The real manager sees this happening, pops out a huge grin and goes to the back and watch from the security cameras. So I don the magical outfit and go to FM. I tell him in no uncertain terms that the store has been closed for 15 minutes and he has been asked multiple times to go and pay for his things. He starts to huff and puff himself up like the big bad wolf. I'm 5 feet 2 inches woman and people think they can intimidate me. I told him that he was only allowed entrance since he said he needed formula. So I gave him a choice. He could go now and pay for the things in his basket, or I would take the basket from him, grab the formula he claimed to need so much, and he could pay for that. He could choose not to do either, and in that case security would love to make his acquaintance. Either way, he would leave now. He tried, oh boy, he tried to threaten and intimidate me. He failed. He left. With his cheese and wine. And many threats to call corporate. The next week he came again. This time he encounters me at the door. What did he need? Formula. So I brought him to our service desk, went inside and brought out a single pack of every kind of formula we had. Asked him which one he needed. He didn't say a word and left. Don't mess with our closing times. No. You can't use brand name coupons to buy store brand goods. Okay, this happened a couple of weeks back, but I completely forgot about it until today. I'm at work, otherwise completely uneventful shift. Yes, they do actually happen sometimes, when I'm called to the tills. A customer, who we'll call BFG, big, frustrated gentleman, had a coupon for money off well-known cola brand products, but is trying to use it to buy store brand soda water. BFG, I bought a 24-pack of Diet Cola here weeks ago, and they were all flat. I had to send them back to the factory for a refund, and they sent me these coupons as compensation. If he'd brought them back to us, we would have refunded or replaced them on the spot. Me. These are only redeemable against cola brand products. Says so in big, clear letters. Even lists all the different drinks by name. BFG, I know that. But you don't have any more 24 packs. Me. No, they were a promotional item, not something we normally stock. We have other, smaller packs. I gesture towards a stack of 18 packs of Diet Cola. BFG, I don't want one of those, I want a 24-pack. Seriously? The coupon is only worth 50p off. Me, I'm sorry, but we don't have any in stock right now, and I don't know when we'll be getting any in. BFG, then I'll have these. He gestures to the bottles of soda water and offers the coupons. Me, I'm sorry, but it clearly states on the coupons that they can only be exchanged for cola brand drinks. BFG, but you don't have the ones I want. Me, I'm sorry sir, but there's nothing I can do about that. You can always try another shop. BFG, storming off, I come in here all the time, and I have never seen such poor customer service. Me, watching him walk off down the street, I've worked here 8 years, and I have never seen that man before in my life. Too long did not read, always read the coupon before you try and use it, don't test your kindness. I work at a tiny local store which also has a post office in it where we are usually always 2 people at work. But because of Christmas and Black Friday we are 3-4 people working at the same time. But a few days ago, we were just 2 people. It was pretty silent, calm before the storm, so my co-worker went away from the register to do some work in the store, restocking etc., leaving me alone at the register to the grocery store and the post office, right next to each other. The store phone rings, and the second after a customer comes inside, noticeably wanting to pick up a parcel. I ask him for his pickup code, he gives it to me. I pick up the phone and go to get his parcel, on the phone. The customer on the phone asks if we have a certain product in stock. I was not sure what product she wanted, but as we are a small store, we usually just have the normal things. But I proceed to give the man his parcel, and go into the first aisle where I thought this product could have been. Keep in mind this aisle, like all of our aisles, are tiny and barely 2 meters away from the entrance. I can't find the product and the lady on the phone is getting annoyed and asking me if I even know what she is talking about and demanding to talk to someone else that knows stuff, certainly not me to this lady, which is already putting me in an annoyed mood. As I turn around, there's an old couple at the post office wanting to drop off some parcels of their own. My co-worker had just come back, and I give her the phone since the lady wouldn't quit, and quickly go back to the post office. Keep in mind once again that this conversation on the phone after me giving the first customer his parcel, was no more than 1 minute. But to the old couple that probably had stood there for 30 seconds, helping a customer who called in ages before they even were here was a crime. They tell me how disrespectful it is to leave a customer like this alone and to be on the phone. I was literally 2 meters away from them the few seconds I was on the phone. I explained to them that the customer on the phone called in before them and I was just trying to help her. Which for some reason got them even more mad, leading up to the man telling me to smile more and that it's so nice to come here. So, don't test your kindness. Help one person at a time and smile like you've never done before. That time I insulted a thief, my worst retail experience. People use the word customer a lot, even when they shouldn't. We definitely use it way too much for the ones that walk in without intending to pay for the product they take. I think the term thief is more applicable. This is a relatively recent experience. Call it the tail end of November. I was about to go on my cigarette break, but my boss calls in over the headset that a man in a blue shirt had just stuffed 2 products down his pants and was pushing for the exit. So I look at the shop floor. There were 3 or 4 dudes in blue shirts. I know we're not supposed to discriminate based on appearance, but it was obvious who the thief was. It's a certain thing based solely on the way the man looked. Didn't even second guess. We stop him. He claims not to have anything down his pants. I tell him there's no way he's that well endowed, pointing at the mammoth bulge that's positioned nowhere near where his natural born equipment should be. Then I say the words that ruin my day. You're a shitty thief. You can't even hide what you're stealing. What happened next was a full-blown, no joke, I shit you not, honest to God, adult temper tantrum. I got shit off my boss later for very clearly smiling in plain view of the security camera when it happened. He threw the products at other customers, aim was shit, didn't hit a one, so I told him he needs to leave. He then makes for the exit, and as he's going, in plain view of everyone, takes 2 chocolate bars off the shelving. One actual customer even said out loud, "Is he fucking serious?" Apparently he wasn't, because he just wanted to throw one of them indiscriminately, not caring if he hit anyone. My mind goes to it landing right on the soft spot of a baby's head or whatever, and then he wheels around and throws it clean at me. First time he actually aimed properly at something because I had to dodge it, and that made me a little angry. So I moved toward him, and the absolute slackwit throws a punch right at my jaw before he leaves. All that, and he didn't even get anything. It weren't even a good punch too. It couldn't even stop me from moving toward him. But it's still assault and I still pressed charges because fuck that guy. The image that's clearest in my mind was how he was smiling before he threw the punch. Which is funny to me because he was issued a banning order and arrested 2 weeks later for what he'd done and other charges according to the police. I hope he's still smiling. He left, stood outside doing an intimidating pose. Looked more like he was trying to keep a turd from crowning. I could whine and complain about how some customers harass our female staff. Working at another store once I witnessed a customer start stroking a female staffer's hair. I could complain about people who don't understand our policy about sale of alcohol when we print signs and display it in full view, and we get fucked by the long dick of the law if we don't follow those rules. I could complain about customers who ignore employee-only signs because they don't believe me when I say there's nothing out the back. I could complain about the entirety of people during the big events this year. I could tell you about the stupid bitch who triggered our store alarm because she wanted employee assistance. I have a unique hatred of customers that still haven't accepted that it is my job and our clearly visible store policy to site check their bag, and that refusing it just makes you look suspicious. But none of those idiots have ever thrown a punch in my face. That's a different experience.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up with the best content from Reddit.